What it do, peeps? Sheryl Swoopes is been missing. Sheryl Swoopes is MIA. They got a APB out for Sheryl Swoopes. If you see Sheryl Swoopes, she did a lot of talking a few months ago about the Indiana Fever, the locker room environment, how people didn't want to play there, how people wanted to leave.
Sheryl Swoopes confidently claimed that Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever couldn't land top free agents. Fast forward, and Indiana just pulled off one of the best free agency runs ever. Meanwhile, Cheryl's predictions keep missing the mark, and her credibility is clearly taking a hit.
People in the Fever were like, y'all.
That's not my point. There's a lot of other shit going on that players are like, this ain't where I want to be.
Over there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some new shit going on around there.
It's a lot. Yeah. So you have players that are very significant on this Indiana Fever team that are like, I don't want to be here. This is where I want to be.
Yeah.
Let's rewind. Sheryl Swoopes, a Hall of Famer and legend of the game, sure, but these days she's working overtime as a full-time critic. She boldly claimed the Fever couldn't attract top-tier talent due to locker room issues, and yet here we are. The contracts are signed, the ink is dry, and Indiana just built a super team while Sheryl watches from the sidelines, probably already planning her next unpopular opinion.
Stephanie White came in and said, okay, hold up. Let me go to Indeed.com and Indeed get some free agents to come in here that want to play, that are accomplished, seasoned veterans. She did all that. Cheryl's been nowhere to be found. Sheryl got a lot of crow to eat, folks. Sheryl could be choking on crow right now. She need that Heimlich maneuver. If you see Sheryl Swoopes, tell her it's okay to come out and talk and say, man, you was wrong. It's okay.
I can just picture Sheryl scrolling through her phone, thinking, no way, these players actually chose Indiana. But surprise, Natasha Howard, Dewana Bonner, Sophie Cunningham, and even Asia Wilson's close friend, Sydney Colson, all signed with the Fever. Indiana didn't just win free agency, they absolutely dominated it. And when Colson was asked why she chose Indiana, let's roll the footage.
I talked to Sydney Colson today about her signing with Indiana. She said that Kelsey Mitchell was actually the first person she hit up because they built a bond here, playing AU for the last 3 years. She said she heard some good things about Caitlin Clark from her Aces teammate Kate Martin as well, so that made the decision easy.
That's right. She wanted to play with Kelsey Mitchell, a close friend, and Caitlin Clark. These were the same players Sheryl Swoopes called out months ago. And the twist? Swoopes said Clark would need years to adjust to the WNBA. Meanwhile, Clark's dropping 40 like it's nothing, while Cheryl's predictions are aging terribly.
3 WNBA MVPs in your career. Would you consider each of those 3 seasons as dominant seasons for yourself?
No.
Man, I can't. Bro, Sheryl Swoopes is willing to lie about her own career before she even admits that Caitlin is dominant.
At this point, hating on Caitlin Clark seems like an Olympic event, and Sheryl Swoopes is dominating. She's probably taking gold, silver, and bronze, all while looking salty. Oh, Caitlin won't fit in the WNBA. Tell that to Indiana, who's stacking elite talent. Caitlin isn't just adjusting, she's thriving, and the Fever are right there with her. Sheryl Swoopes might want to step back, because Indiana just put her in her place again.
No, but players who will be free agents next year, there's a lot of other shit going on that players are like, this ain't where I want to be.
The real reason some WNBA veterans can't stand Caitlin Clark? She didn't wait her turn. She walked in, broke 62 records in her rookie season, embraced the fans, and made the sport global. And that probably stings.
The Indiana Fever are that golden destination, and I can't help but laugh to the fans and the people online and the media commentators, unfortunately, who said that nobody wanted to play in Indiana. That doesn't make any sense.
Caitlin Clark didn't need anyone's approval to become the face of women's basketball. Her global recognition surpasses many in the league, and that's a result of her incredible talent. While some are focused on criticism, Caitlin is racking up awards, selling out arenas, and making the Indiana Fever the most desirable team. It's amazing to see how a team once overlooked is now the center of attention.
A lot of people say that Caitlin Clark moves the needle. That is wrong. She is the needle. She dictates. We all know what she's done on the floor. It's history, right? But off the floor, my goodness.
So Cheryl, what about those players who didn't want to go to Indiana? Who are you talking to, exactly? The ghosts of teams past. Because real players, players who matter, are choosing to join the Fever like it's the VIP section of an exclusive club. Did you really think Caitlin Clark would need to beg anyone to play with her? Let's be realistic.
But even further, when a game that Sheryl Swoopes was calling for the Dallas Wings, where the commentator was talking about how great Caitlin Clark had been playing, Sheryl Swoopes, silent for 60 seconds, didn't even want to address it. And it got so bad that the game that Dallas then went to play against the Indiana Fever and Caitlin Clark, after the domination of the Chicago Sky, Sheryl Swoopes got pulled from the broadcast.
Someone check on Cheryl, because it seems like she's stuck in 2002, when the Fever were barely scraping by with a roster that felt more like a team-building exercise than a contender. Times have changed, though. This isn't Tamika Catchings carrying a squad full of part-time players. The Indiana Fever are stacked now, with Natasha Howard, a championship-caliber defender and a light scorer, joining the team. Here's what she had to say when making the move.
It's going to be Caitlin Clark flash show. So it's going to be phenomenal playing with a point guard, like you said, that have a good vision on the court. Because that's like, as soon as she gets the ball in her hand, she's throwing it up because she already see the person down the court before she even get the ball in her hand. So that's one thing I love about her vision on the court. I really can't wait to catch all those passes and give her all the assists that she needs.
DeWanna Bonner is a 6'4" walking mismatch, an elite scorer and one of the best in the WNBA. And guess what? She just went to war on Twitter with all the Fever critics. Sophie Cunningham? She's got the swagger, the attitude, and enough trash talk to shake up any arena. And who does she want to play with? Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever, of course.
Why does everybody hate Caitlin Clark? And do you hate Caitlin Clark? Come on, talk
dude.
to me.
Absolutely not. I think that she's a gem. I didn't know her, but All-Star Weekend, we kind of bantered back and forth a little bit. And she's lovely. She has a lot of pressure on her shoulders. And I think a lot of people always have a lot to say with people they don't even know or shoes they've never been in. And for me, I think she's handling the pressure very well. She's doing a lot of great things for women's basketball. And I'm a fan. Like, I would love to play with her one day, for real.
Even if Sydney Colson isn't getting big minutes, she's bringing the most fun, high-energy vibe the Fever have ever had. Chemistry is through the roof. Do we see a pattern? They all chose to be in Indiana, to play with the Fab Four, Caitlin, Alia, Kelsey, and Lexi. While Sheryl Swoopes is busy with her bad takes, the Fever are building a dynasty. Maybe Cheryl's not even talking about the Fever. Maybe she's talking about the Aces, Sky, or Sun, who are falling apart. The Fever aren't just here to play. They're dominating.
You know that I'm very excited, and I really agree with a lot of the moves the Indiana Fever have made. There's not been one trade or pickup that the Indiana Fever have made that I have not been on board with. I'm on board with every single one. And I just want to say the fact that the Indiana Fever have gone out and got these great players like a Natasha Howard, like a DeWanna Bonner, like a Sophie Cunningham, the fact that they've gone out and got these great players shows that they believe Caitlin Clark is great right now. They are on board with the Caitlin Clark vision, and it just makes me happy because they're not treating Caitlin Clark like a rookie who is gonna be good in 10 years. No, they're treating her like a superstar who is good right now.
By the way, every single narrative about the Fever is like whatever about them signing Sophie Cunningham, who they don't like. They love DeWanna Bonner. Like, these people, they signed DeWanna Bonner, and again, they were saying, like, we have actual people working for networks being like, DeWanna Bonner will never sign for the Fever for obvious reasons. And I'm like, what are the obvious reasons? Genuinely, what are the obvious reasons? They are basketball players.
See, I'm really trying here not to crash out, okay? I can't take too much more. I just said the other day, what did I say? Another bomb is Sunday. I said, this isn't it. You know, I can't wait to see what the next bomb would be. Didn't know this would be the bomb. Stephanie White ain't playing fair. I have to say it again. Stephanie White is not playing fair. She on one.
Indiana Fever are officially title contenders. Every day they have something new for us in free agency. And today it's Miss DeWanna Bonner. 6-time WNBA All-Star and WNBA champ, a veteran in this game, can pretty much do it all. Also an enforcer, nasty defense. Should I continue? We have a new starting five. Caitlyn at the 1, Kelsey at the 2, DeWanna at the 3, Natasha Howard at the 4, and Aaliyah Boston at the